Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for checking out the new episode of the Skyward cast. This is my radio voice. I hope you enjoy. Here with my co-host, Delvin Cox, and our guest today,
Derek. Scoot right over me.
Yeah, man. You don't get your rap today, man.
No. The rap verse is coming in.
No. Let's get right into these games.
No. The rap verse is coming today. I have one memorized, so it has to come. Fake thug, no love, you get the slug. CB4 gusto, your luck though. I didn't know till I was drunk though.
To the hip.
I'm not gonna say the
Listen.
That is the honor of the GOAT, Nostradamus, aka Nas, who I was supposed to drop today, but I don't know what's going on. It's now very late and the album hasn't dropped yet. And I'm getting very upset by this.
Is it that deep?
Yes, I'm a huge Nas fan.
Oh, yeah.
Nas is my favorite rapper of all time. So
I used to be a big fan, like back in the Untitled album days.
Yes.
But
well, it has a title. They just didn't let him use it.
Oh yeah. I knew about that trash. Yeah, like that was stupid. How you gonna cut off his like make him change it up? That's his creative choice. Let him keep it.
And then the funny thing about it is he used the same album cover.
Yeah, like it matched with the freaking album cover. Like now it's just the Untitled album and him, or sitting there with a whipped up back. I loved all those tracks though. Like it was was one of the best albums I've ever heard. And it's as far as his albums go, it's extremely underrated.
Very underrated because a lot of people didn't get no radio play because of the content of it.
Hero was a very commercial track.
Yeah, it was. Well, Breathe. I love Breathe. Breathe is awesome. There's so many great songs on it.
Yeah, that one was fire. Oh my goodness, there was so many tracks. Dang, I gotta listen to that today.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it. I might not have a choice but to listen to it since Nas' damn album ain't out yet. What the hell is going on, damn Kanye West?
What's up with that? Why is his album releasing? What does that have to do with Kanye? Is he on good music?
No, he's not on good music. Kanye's producing the album.
Okay.
Well, he produced the album. That's why it's only 7 songs and it's taking forever to come out. This is
7.
Why do they keep doing this?
Oh,
this is Kanye thing where he wanted every album to be 7 songs. I'm so sick of that.
That's the dumbest. Freaking Daytona. Kids See Ghosts? Is that what they're called?
Yeah. Didn't listen to Daytona. Listen to Kids See Ghosts because I love Kid Cudi. And Yee, I think his album was called. Didn't listen to that.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't care.
You a hater. I can't even say that. I didn't listen to the whole thing either.
But I have been feeling Kanye as of late, so I'm like, I'm not gonna waste money on. Like me, I'm the type of person when I like an artist, I support them by buying the album. I've never been the type of person who wants to stream album because, frankly, streaming is not the same as purchasing an album. Artists get less money off of that. And as a person who was once an artist, I want other artists to get all of their chips.
Mm-hmm.
So I always buy albums. I've always been like that. Like if there's an album gonna come out, if I gotta buy it on iTunes, I'm just gonna buy it straight up. I'm not gonna just stream the album and they get like 12 cents off the album that you just streamed all the songs off of, and the record label getting $8.99 from it.
Yeah, but they're gonna make that up in ticket sales.
Yeah, but still doesn't feel right to me because a lot of work comes into recording an album. A lot of work and effort and time, and it's hard to be creative. Even us doing this podcast, it's not necessarily easy to just come on this mic and just start talking.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing it for free. So imagine, if we were getting paid for this and we had, let's say, I don't even know how we got on this subject, but let's touch on this real quick since we're there. Let's say we were doing this podcast getting paid for it. And we had managers and stuff like that. People are paying. Let's say people are paying $20 a month for a subscription, and out of that $20 a month, we each get $2 a piece. And for our hard work and us being the talent, we get $2 a piece, and the rest goes to marketing and whoever else, the record label, whoever else putting the podcast out. Essentially, you're doing all the heavy work. You're the talent.
Mm-hmm.
Without your talent, there's no product. And I think people lose sight of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I definitely want to show support to artists that I really enjoy. I think that's why, like, I went out and got, I think like the last album I got was like Lupe Fiasco, Tetsuo and Youth, which is still one of my favorite albums. I went out and I've been supporting music a little bit more, but then I also been heavy on the streaming. But I need to get back into actually buying the albums of people that I really support.
To be clear, I don't have a problem with people streaming albums. It's just not my forte.
No, I understand. Everyone has a preference. I mean, I know you're not gonna be a hater, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna, like, if I see somebody streaming an album, I'm gonna slap the phone out their hand and like pay for that album. No, it's nothing like that.
Oh no.
It's just
there will be some crazy people like that too.
Yeah.
But
let's get into the meat and potatoes of why we're here.
E3.
E3.
Yeah, we're gonna break it down, go over what we did like, what we didn't like, and who won E3.
Are we going over each conference, or we just touching the main three? Because I don't think we need to really go over each conference.
I mean, we could kind of
some things
brush over Ubisoft. We can kind of brush over Ubisoft, Bethesda, Square, and Electronic Arts, or EA. I'm reading this, so that's why I said Electronic Arts. No one ever says Electronic Arts. Anyway, I mean, they didn't. Well, what did you guys think of Square?
Well, Derek, you got some notes, man. Give us some of your notes.
I don't have notes.
My gosh, Derek,
no, I told you I was doing it at work, so I have pretty much all the stuff that Xbox announced, and I started watching Nintendo. I saw Ubi, but I didn't write that stuff down. I think because I was at home when I was watching that one. And Square, I didn't see that one at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I have everything listed right here, so I can. Square, it was super short. It was extremely disappointing, which really sucked because they had Keith David voice, like he was like the, I don't know, not like the host, but whatever. Well, there was no host, but you know, he was kind of not directing, but he was the announcer.
Okay, let people know who Keith David is for those who don't know. People
freaking Goliath from the Gargoyles. He was the voice actor.
There you go.
Who else? What else did he do? I know he was the voice of somebody in Mass Effect. He was Nunu's dad on freaking ATL. What else? Hey, if you don't know him from that, I don't know what to tell you, man. But let's see. So for Square, it was extremely short. They had and it was so disappointing because you know he come out with that, you know, his awesome voice, and it's just making it seem like it's gonna be this big show, and 30 minutes in, it just ends just like that. Like, what the heck? They didn't. So they showed off this new game called Babylon's Fall, which they didn't show any gameplay. It's a new game by from Platinum, so don't really know what it's gonna be. They just kind of showed like some images to kind of give a little bit of the story, but no gameplay. And then some weird game called The Quiet Man, which that trailer was kind of whack. It was like live action mixed with CG, and it was just this dude. I think he was walking down an alley, and then these Mexican dudes kind of like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Get out of here. And then they started fighting. I think he started beating him up. And it's like, he pointed to his ear like, I can't hear you. Like, they're talking to him, and they're like, oh, you're deaf? Okay. So now we're really going to beat you up. And it's like, What?
Because that's what you do to deaf people. You beat the shit out of them.
What kind of trailer is this? What is going on? Why would they? I think they'd be like, oh, okay. You can't hear what we're saying. All right. I don't know what the heck.
Well, apparently, that's what Mexicans do to deaf people. They beat the shit out of them. Ask Chaffee.
Jeez. All right. I'm not even touching that one, man. Let's see. They showed Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
I did see that.
Saw a lot of that. Just Cause 4, they showed a gameplay trailer, which it looks pretty interesting. It looks just like more of the same, but a little prettier. Some new gameplay mechanics, which, that's cool. Dragon Quest, whatever this Roman numeral is, I don't know. So I can't really tell you. And Final Fantasy 14 gets some Monster Hunter World DLC. And that was it. I think they may have showed Kingdom Hearts a little bit, and then it just cut off.
I got to call out something real quick.
What was it?
You forgot Keith David's seminal role.
What is it?
He was involved in one of the greatest fight scenes in movie history. They Live.
Who?
You never seen They Live with Roddy Piper?
Oh, that was like
I didn't know who that is, man.
Movie,
You don't know who Roddy Piper is.
Yeah,
no
wrestler. Yeah.
Yo, you don't know who Rowdy Piper is.
Yeah. I know who.
I know you know, Derek.
Yeah.
Joey doesn't have no clue who Rowdy Piper is.
Nah.
He was the wrestler though. Always wore the kilt.
Yes.
Okay.
And at one point he was in acting. He was in a movie, a John Carpenter film called They Live. That is a cult classic.
With the glasses, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Joey, have you never seen They Live?
No. So this is a cult classic from the 80s?
80s.
Yeah, it's a little before my time, man. But yeah, never saw it.
Joey, you are slowly becoming Peter Parker from Civil War, where he's like, have you seen that old movie?
Hey, listen. Listen, you got to think about it, right? There's so much stuff to be up on, okay? Like it's hard enough to be up on the stuff that was out, around the time where I was old enough to be aware of it up to this point. And you talking about all the stuff into the 80s and before, like
You have to watch They Live. If you don't even watch They Live, watch the fight scene in this movie. It's one of the most ridiculous fight scenes I've ever seen in movie history. It is literally a 30-minute fight over putting on a damn pair of glasses. It's so absurd. It's just mind-blowingly funny.
Yeah, the glasses reveal who are like zombies or whatever, or aliens. And it came out around the time that show V was on.
Yes.
Remember the TV show where the people ate the rats or whatever?
He doesn't have no clue what V is. I can answer that for you right now. He has no clue what V is whatsoever.
Not even the remake? Because they brought that back at one point.
He may know what the remake is. Joey, you know what the remake of V? You ever heard of V, the TV show?
No.
See what I told you.
Wait, no. If you know, wait. Also, my browser crashed, so if you were wondering why I just cut out,
I was covering for you, but you just completely screwed that up.
Hey,
I had it completely covered.
Hey, how was I supposed to know? As I just said, I wasn't here.
That's why I literally asked the question as soon as you popped up.
Yeah.
Oh, and you completely screwed it up.
Hey, listen. I'll edit that out. No one ever knows.
Me and Derek covered so smoothly.
Yeah.
It was so seamlessly. You wouldn't even noticed it. You covered. Oh, my browser cut out.
Hey, listen. I'm just thinking, okay, well, dang, I'm mid sentence and then just gone. So they're gonna be like, oh, well, what happened? So I'm just trying to clear it up, man. Hey, look, if I was still listening to you guys, and then I just kind of you know, all slick just pop back in, that'd be cool. But I heard nothing. So hey, what I know what V is. They had like a remake, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's what he was just saying. That they had a remake. He was asking, did you see the remake?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea of what the remake was? I said he didn't. I answered. I said he has no clue what V is, nor has he seen the remake of V.
Oh, and there's one thing you happen to be wrong. If you say that about 80% of the stuff you talk about, you'd probably be right, but that specific one, no.
He's heard of V. You haven't seen the remake though, or the original, but you've heard of it.
I think I saw a piece of the first episode of the remake, or I was interested in watching it, but I never did because it got canceled pretty quick, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if it got canceled quick, or I think they had 2 seasons.
Did it?
But I think it did. I think it was one of those weird things where it was doing okay, and then they like changed the time it came on, and it completely screwed up the show because nobody knew where to find it at, if I remember correctly.
Wait. How'd you get on V? Weren't we talking about video games? Like, what the?
Because we was talking about They Live and how you should see that movie, and he mentioned that the movie is very similar to V, the TV series, and I said Joey has no clue what V is whatsoever.
Oh, okay, yeah. You were talking about freaking Keith David's like his role,
Right?
Okay,
They Live, which you need to watch. You probably can YouTube They Live and watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to that at some point. I don't know. Yeah, maybe one of these days.
You need to watch They Live. It's an awesome movie. It's dated, of course, but it is awesome. It's a line of the movie that people quote all the time, where Roddy Piper walks in this bank and he says, "I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum."
Hey, if it's good, that's cool. You know, but I hope it's not one of those things where it's like you had to be, like you actually had to be around that time for that time period to actually appreciate it as much as, you know, as people did back in the day. Because, I mean, that would kind of suck.
It's like some movies that were made back in the 80s. You had to, when you see it during that time, it made sense. But if you go back now and watch it, you're gonna be like, that didn't carry over well. Like the original Batman movie with Jack Nicholson. You go back and watch that now, that just
I think it holds up. I think that one holds up. I don't think the rest of them hold up. I think the first one holds up to me.
Yeah.
The rest of them, like Batman Returns, all them don't hold up to me. But
no,
the first one,
they were terrible when they came out.
Those are good movies.
Are we talking the same movies?
With freaking Arnold as Mr. Freeze?
That one was horrible.
Oh my god!
And Alicia Silverstone as what's her name?
Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy.
Oh my god!
Terrible. Come on, man.
You cannot sit here and tell me those movies were good.
Uma Thurman is Poison Ivy? Oh my god.
They Live is good.
Yeah. That movie was terrible, man.
Oh man, y'all have.
Let's move on to the next conference.
Now I really don't want to watch that movie because
I like the co-pilot. We're going down in flames.
Hey, listen, look, we got to do it how we do it. Everybody else can do how they do. You know, what I mean,
Ubisoft what they did. This nonsense you talking about. That movie was good. Batman, that crap was awful.
Ubisoft. I'm always interested in Assassin's Creed. I always like those games. I really love the last one. And to me, honestly, this new one, Odyssey, look like an extension of Origins. It looks exactly the same. Just change the time period and the backdrop. Same game though. Same mechanic.
I think it's a sequel. I think it's a direct sequel to Origins. If I remember correctly.
It's got to be because it looks.
No, it's the mechanics are the same, but Origins actually not Origins. Odyssey actually supposedly takes place like thousands or hundreds of years before. So
I thought it was in the same timeline as Origins. Like it was like in the same area. I think it was like they mentioned it in something like that.
No, it's totally different.
I could be wrong.
And it has nothing to do. It honestly, like, it's they said like hundreds or thousands of years before the Assassin's Brotherhood was even created. So it's like it's totally separate. Like, and people are flipping out like, how is this going to be an Assassin's Creed game when the Assassin's Brotherhood isn't even going to exist like until like hundreds or however long after? So
I don't care. That game looks good.
No, it looks really good.
It looks fantastic. I'm excited for that. It
does look really fantastic. I was surprised. But the only thing, the reason why I'm not completely into it right now is because of how they did the story. You know what I mean? How they've been doing the story since Assassin's Creed 4. Like, cause I played 1 all the way through Syndicate. And
so you played most of them. That's a lot of games.
That's 8 games. 8 freaking games. I played all those suckers and they were enjoyable. But after 4, I don't know.
Black people, what is up?
Hey man,
hey, what's going
new
on,
challengers in the arena.
Yeah, we were just going over Ubisoft.
Hot Town's finest.
Eddie V.
Yeah. Saints. What is up, Saints? Let the gamer church say yay men.
All right.
I mean, I forgot. Let the gamer church say ramen. Ramen noodles. Hallelujah.
Did you since we talk about it, Eddie, did you see, because we're like Ubisoft now. Don't worry, we haven't touched Nintendo yet. We're not even close to Nintendo yet.
Yeah,
we might not even touch that trash.
I seen, you know what? I'm gonna shank you.
Yeah. Chill out.
I knew that was coming.
Chill out. That mess was garbage though.
Compared to what Bethesda did, no.
We haven't got none of that stuff yet. Let's get to Ubisoft. What did you think of Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
Hey man, I was mid-story. Hold on.
Well, it's not our fault. Eddie came in like he was the Rock doing a run on WrestleMania.
He just popped in.
I'm just happy to see y'all. That's why. So
nothing wrong with that, bro.
But
no,
Ubisoft.
But yeah, go ahead.
Ubisoft was really good. I actually like the Just Dance presentation. They had one song before they ended. They had one song that before they ended. It's something like a Beyonce song. I don't know. I can't think of it. But I just like it done in a band form. I'm just like, oh, this is kind of tight with it. But you know, they started off the show. I thought everything was fine. They announced their game and they got off the show. Nobody came and sang. And then all the weird stuff started happening. So, but pretty much their presentation was good, and the games that they show, I'm looking forward to. Besides like Skull and Bones, everything else, yeah, I was looking forward to.
Man, see, I'm the opposite. I want to play Skull and Bones because to me, that's like a grown-up version of Sea of Thieves. So I'm really interested in that.
Okay, we just skipped over the other major game they announced. They announced the Division 2.
What?
Yeah, that looks just like more of the Division.
Oh yeah.
The trailer and the trailer reminds me of the original trailer, which was extremely deceptive. So I don't want to really get into that until I actually see like real gameplay and not Ubisoft demo, because they'll make it seem like it's gonna be one thing and it'll be totally different. So
right, it's not showing you the real Ubisoft graphics and gameplay.
I mean, hopefully they learn the lesson. But go ahead.
But this is the weird thing, and this happened even with Beyond Good and Evil. Beyond Good and Evil is supposed to be a prequel to Beyond Good and Evil, so Jade is not supposed to be in it. Why is she in this trailer with Paige?
I think they changed it. If I remember correctly, somebody said something about they changed the story. It is not necessarily like a prequel per se.
But it's supposed to be a sequel now.
It's a sequel prequel. But it's nothing weird. They said.
No, it's a prequel. It is. I saw an interview like after, and it is supposed to be a prequel, but I don't know
not as
if
far back
it's-
as they said it was going to be before.
It was supposed to be like 500, or it was supposed to be a long time because
Like
it's supposed to
500
deal with,
in the past.
right. It was
It's
supposed
not
to deal
that
with.
long.
It was supposed to be deal with Jade's mother before Jade even got into it. So Jade and Paige was even supposed to be in this game. So that's why I'm just like, well, why are you guys going back to tell the original to sequel? Why not just finish off what the sequel, what the first game was?
I don't know.
No idea.
It's a big cross situation.
I never actually played it, so I don't even know.
Me either.
where that
I did, because that happened even with Assassin's Creed. I'm like, so there's a prequel to a prequel of the game, how Assassin's Creed supposed to start it, and then it's to whatever Assassin's Creed. Because I'm just like, so Odyssey is the actual first Assassin's Creed now, before Origins, which is supposed to be the start of this whole series.
Apparently so.
Because I'm like, Assassin's Creed 1, the character in that was the original assassin. Then Origins came out, and he was the original assassin. And they kind of told us story in the game how he was like the original, him and his wife. They went off and started like their own little brotherhood. But then we got somebody else that's gonna be the original one. Man, I'm like, come on, y'all gotta pick one.
You're getting into the negative ones.
Yeah,
It's more like integers, like -1, -2. Now it's
Look.
Assassin's Creed -3.
They're actually there's not gonna actually be an assassin in Odyssey. So that's why that was the big deal. It's like, how's it going to be an assassin's game when there's no assassins? Like, this is like hundreds of years before the assassins were created. So
right, which is weird. I'm like, then why is it Assassin's Creed if there's no assassins? Why are you starting a prequel before the actual thing's supposed to start, before you actually get to the main timeline?
because the assassin is going to be DLC.
No, Ubisoft is amazing. They don't have nothing creative as a game.
Look, it makes sense because that's how the story goes. The whole story is based around.
Brush over Derek's great joke.
What?
No, I'm
That's
just
a fantastic joke just now. Y'all just completely brushed over it.
What was it?
He said the assassin's gonna be DLC.
Hey,
Crickets.
Gotta pay for the assassins.
Wow.
I'm hearing crickets, man. No, I'm
and that's
joking.
and that's
You're
even with
No,
the,
it was a good joke, man.
and that's
But-
even with the Division 2. It's like,
What?
okay, so have the cure happened in the Division 2? Now it's 6 months, and they're trying to recover because
Hey, no spoilers.
the guys still lose. If you
I think
haven't
they
played-
said it on the E3 floor, so I don't know
Right.
how much spoiler that is. They kind
Hey,
of
I
said
didn't listen to that. Listen, I don't listen to spoilers. Anytime
Good.
there's spoilers, I'm getting out of there.
if you got Game Pass, the Division is free. Go play that and be confused about what the whole game is about. Now, because I'm trying to figure out, just like, okay, did y'all find a cure for this person? And now, 6 months after, y'all trying to rebuild America, but now there's like gang and terror and white folks acting a fool and black folks ain't nowhere to be found. Like, what is the world going on? Like, I'm lost now. Like, I don't understand what Ubisoft is doing, any of the developers. Like, can y'all tell a proper story? Can y'all do a follow-up? Like, what are y'all doing?
I don't know.
But what they're
There you
hitting
have
at.
it.
I mean, but games that they're hitting at
Probably
looks
too low
good to
on damn
me.
Ubisoft. Let's move on to something else. So we get down to these big three. What's next? Bethesda?
Can we please skip? Because they
We
didn't show
talk
you
about
Hey,
nothing.
listen. Bethesda, it was a decent show. It wasn't the greatest, but I mean, they went over a little more detail. Not a little more, a lot of detail. Fallout 76, they showed some gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
They showed that garbage. Was it Elder Scrolls mobile game, which nobody wants that trash.
Elder Scrolls Blades, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's
that
it.
is.
I'd try it. It looked interesting.
I heard it was garbage. I mean, I saw an article saying that it just doesn't work. It doesn't work like they showed it to. I mean, just from the demo that they showed, it looked repetitive. Like combat looked lame. And I mean, it was kind of cool how they said it's going to be playable like cross-platform. So you could be on PlayStation or I don't know about PlayStation because Sony's doing it.
Right.
but all the other platforms and be able to jump into anyone else's game. But if it's garbage, well, that's not going to matter, and it just looked mediocre. But they
Let me ask
showed
this question about it then. Does it matter if the game is free or not?
no free garbage is still garbage.
But
Pretty much.
Oh, you can pre-order it. I think it is free. Yeah, it's free.
Oh, free to play? Because it's only free to play on mobile right now.
Yeah, it says you can pre-order it right now. It is for free.
I mean, I'd try it, but
So,
I'm not about to be. I don't know. I don't really want to try it.
Not about to waste no space on that mess.
But yeah, so they showed that. They talked about Doom Eternal. I don't think they showed. Of course, they just showed like a little scenery screen for Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Starfield, which is their new IP, which they didn't show anything. They just showed a little scenery scene, and then that's it. Fallout Shelter comes to PS4 or came to PS4. Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Switch.
I didn't know nothing about that.
yeah. Fallout Shelter's on Switch now too.
Yeah, he announced it when he said PS4.
Oh yeah. I do remember that.
That's a big deal.
Why?
Because it's technically a Fallout game on Switch.
But it's
Even if
like
it's Shelter. I'm
2D.
quite sure.
People are showing Bethesda a lot of love on Nintendo Switch so they could get more games. And Bethesda kind of realized that when they was talking about Doom being ported to Switch, even like Bethesda was taking back and was helping us hashtag get Doom to 1 million, because Doom is sold like 1 million on Switch, and more people are looking forward to their games to be on that platform than anything else.
Yeah, because if they're putting Fallout Shelter on Switch, chances are they might put Fallout 4 on Switch just to throw it on there.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. Because they say performance is a little iffy on other platforms that have a lot more power. How's that going to work?
Well, Bethesda's known for
actually on Switch. And Doom looks better. It's a better looking game than Fallout 4.
Yeah, but Fallout is an open world. All those elements having to load on a tablet. You know what I mean? And like I said, if it's running a little here and there on Xbox, PS4, how is that going to work on Switch without it being garbage or looking like a PC game with the settings turned all the way down? I'm talking the environments looking like a rug. You know what I mean? No detail.
I think
Fallout 4 doesn't look that great anyway.
Right. People are not looking for Fallout 4 to be on Switch. People are looking more for there's a chance of like Prey or Dishonored, the Dishonored collection being on there, because those kind of like those kind of first person shooting games and stuff from Bethesda, even if the performance is slow, people are they look at it technically than the speed. Like they were just like, this works and the frame rate is steady. There's no stuttering. Like, yeah, and people will buy it.
They have a game already on Switch that's runs
great.
Good on Switch. Skyrim.
Is that on there?
Yeah,
Skyrim's
on there.
They can run Skyrim on Switch. They can run Fallout on Switch.
Come on, right. You know that's from like PS3, right? You know, PS3 360. Come on, that's more powerful than both of those.
But Fallout is not that. Fallout doesn't look that great for one thing. Fallout's not this beautiful looking game where it's like, oh, it's not The Last of Us. It's not. Fallout doesn't look great for one thing.
And Fallout 76 looks like DLC from Fallout 4. Like I don't know. There doesn't seem like there's no improvement for it. Like I guess I just wish they would change some stuff, maybe graphically or color wise. Because every time I was looking at it, I'm like, this just looks like exactly like Fallout 4. And I thought they would change, because it's 76. I thought they would change the way that it would look.
Well, I think that's because they didn't change much with it in terms of it, because it's going to be basically an online game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like
that wasn't really my thing. Like it's. I thought it would be interesting to kind of see how that formula plays out with online, but I mean, from how they're kind of explaining it, it's like they said everyone that's alive, everyone that you run into is going to be an actual person. So
Yeah.
I guess people were saying like, okay, so that means no NPCs. You're not going to actually.
They dialed that back in
Yeah.
the same thing. They said each like area you playing will have up to 12 people. So it's not gonna be the whole planet's not gonna be populated with people. You're not gonna be running into hundreds of people playing Fallout at one time. Your room is gonna have like 12 people to play with, and you can go quest with. Then the next room will have 12 people to quest with.
Yeah, but what
So
I'm
it's
saying
not
is like, so you're not going to be communicating with people because they said like every person that you see is going to be an actual person. So that means like I'm taking that as there's not going to be any NPCs that you walk up to and just like, you know.
No, that's not the case at all.
So
That's not the case at all. They, like I said, they walked that back. They said it, then they literally walked it back. Because they was like, the servers are going to be working because each server room is going to have up to 12 people in it as opposed to having these big 100 people servers. So if you have 12 people in the server, you're not going to be talking, unless you're talking to each other, you're not going to be running into NPCs and talking to them like that. You're going to be either talking to NPCs or just doing nothing but fighting monsters together.
yeah.
Also, F Nazis. like that man said. He's like, oh yeah, before we leave, F the F word Nazis. I'm like, oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, everyone was getting all hyped over that. It's like, okay, we had enough of that. When the game came out before, yeah, we get it. People get so hyped over the smallest trash. It's funny, like when you see them come out, the presenters, and they just throw in random curse words because they're like, yeah, we're cool, we're rebels, we're gonna curse on stage, and everyone's like, oh my god, they said a bad word. And it's like it's not even that deep, dude. Like, come on, y'all are adults. Like, is it that cool?
Right. My thing be like, y'all on here cussing and stuff, and y'all look like y'all just came back from golfing or some business meeting. It's just like, no, that don't match. We have all of these graphics that's just gonna make your eyes bleed, and then cuss word. I'm like, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Just say what you need to say. Get off the stage. Let's watch the CGI trailer and let's call it a day. Move this mess along. We don't need you to detail it. Like, why go into detail and then the trailer be like 15 minutes long or 50 seconds long? That's not actual gameplay that you'll be that will be on your TV. Just like no. And also the whole black community cut off or mute when Andrew WK came on and started playing.
Who?
Exactly. That's what all the black people said. Who? That's literally what all the black people said. Who?
I totally. I don't know if I missed that. We still talking about the same conference? What happened?
Yeah.
Andrew WK?
No idea who that is.
He's the rock person that came out and was playing the theme song to Rage 2.
Fool. Yeah, okay. No, that music was kind of, I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool.
It was the commercial theme and stuff, but it was just like, okay, you playing this music, why not show gameplay or something about it? You know, Rage 2.
During the gameplay, yeah, that would have made more sense, but they didn't. So I don't know. But so that's pretty much it for Bethesda. It wasn't too much.
Yeah,
I mean,
it wasn't a long list.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of DLC, and some sequels. We didn't really finish Ubisoft. Like, we didn't. I mean, we kind of skipped over. We talked about Skull and Bones, and we didn't really talk about Starlink. What do you guys think about that? Toys to Life.
Starlink is cool. They show some gameplay at Treehouse Live. Yeah, I think a lot of people gonna buy the Switch version because that mug looks real.
Fox.
You know what? Not even with Star Fox, it looks just like really fun to play. I'm just like,
it does.
I'm like, if they could give some good content and make this game long, this game's gonna sell well. It's gonna sell really good.
Can't do it. I have enough Toys to Life crap in my house as it is.
Hey, well,
Well, we
I've,
haven't even
I've
seen
never
the
actually
lineup yet.
tried a Toys to Life game, so
Me either.
I think this might be the first one because it's the one that actually looks like, I don't know, more my speed and not just one of those random open world games where you just toss a character on and it's like a lot of those games, it was like it just looked like a real generic 3D world. And it's just like you could easily swap the characters out with some no-name ones and it wouldn't really hurt it at all. Like the world isn't anything special. But this one actually looks like it's just like, I don't know. It didn't look like it was just built to sell toys.
No, because you could, like, they were showing that you could take different parts of the ship off and mix and match them, and whatever you feel comfortable, that'll be on your ship, and that's what you'll use for that mission. Like it has a base, but there's pieces and stuff on it. So
yeah, so I like that aspect of it, that I can customize it and stuff. I mean, I'm sure that is another part to kind of get you to like to sell you on that, so you can buy more parts and crap. But I'm cool with that if the game is interesting and not just about trying to get me to collect as many toys as possible. But the game itself is just kind of mediocre. So
yeah, look at if you get a chance to look at the Treehouse Live, I think they did it day 2. You might have to skip a little bit around, but like if you see like the 2 guys in like the ship and stuff, like watch it. It's really cool. I was just like, yeah, this gameplay looks fun and it looks deep.
I don't know. Maybe I'll end up checking that out. Not sure, but definitely not at full price because heck no, not happening. When that eventually drops to about 30, a little Black Friday sale or something, maybe, but $60, heck no.
How do you connect the device to the Switch for those amiibos? Like, how does that work?
So with Starlink, they have a little piece that you already got, and you connect your Joy-Cons to it. And then which is the base. So that base is come from Ubisoft, not Nintendo. You just put the Joy-Cons on it, and then you start putting the ships and the characters on it, and so you'll play it that way.
So is it connected by wire?
Joy-Cons have sensors in it for the amiibos.
Oh yeah, the little NFC.
With the amiibos, those you usually just tap the Joy-Con. You'll usually tap the Joy-Con. They have like a square that's at the bottom. You just tap it and it'll read. That's when you use the Nintendo games. But this one, all the stuff is being done by Ubisoft. So the only thing you do is just put the Joy-Cons. For PlayStation and Xbox, I don't know how it's working. They haven't showed that yet.
They probably have like a little something similar to how
like
Skyward did it.
Yeah, like a base connected to the system. Yeah, they might do something like that.
Is that like the was it a Lego Dimensions? Something similar to that?
Yeah, I
probably.
think so.
Yeah,
so
probably
it's like a little stand where you set it on there and then they kind of pop into the game.
Yeah.
But you don't have to build it like Lego Dimension where you have to build the whole base. I'm like, really?
Oh, I didn't know you. I didn't know you could do all that.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, because the base for Lego Dimension is all of Legos, and you have to build the whole base.
That's what's annoying as hell.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We got to move on to some more stuff.
Yeah, let's get to Microsoft. Let's see. On the first on the list is the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think about that? It's like that game within the same universe as Life is Strange. Yeah.
It's cool because it's free.
Yeah.
So I check out the first episode, but like they didn't show any gameplay. Like, what are you doing? Are you just watching? Like sort of interacting.
You'll be interacting. Yeah, you'll be interacting and probably making decisions and stuff. So, like if you take a look at the Life is Strange series, you just really like interact and make decisions.
Yeah, it's more like the Walking Dead game type games.
Yeah. So I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of those, but I'd probably check it out. Maybe
it's
because
free.
It's free. Yeah. So I'll probably download it. Let's see. They showed some more Metro Exodus. They showed some actual gameplay a little bit more in the trailer, so that looked pretty cool. What do you guys think of that one? I'm interested.
Interested.
Yeah, I'm interested, but I haven't played the other two. I bought them.
I haven't. Yeah, I have them for PS4. I try to play them.
I have
like
them
get
as
into
well.
it.
They're good games. It's just they're good games. They're just an acquired taste. If you don't like Metro, you know, the darker stories. It's first person, close quarter combat. It's fun, but like I said, if you don't like Metro, you're not gonna like this game. So don't even look at it.
Well, I don't. What do you mean if you don't like Metro? Like, were there games?
If you don't like the
before?
gameplay, if you don't like the gameplay, which makes you not like the series, you're not gonna get into it.
Yeah, it's a first person shooter. It has kind of like a
Survival. It's a first person survival.
Yeah, first person survival shooter. Has a little bit of a Fallout feel to it, but it's not open world per se.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I said, it's an acquired taste. I like it.
I'm gonna have to try.
It's a darker story.
I love a good story. Is it like a deep story? Because I love a really interesting dark story.
It's an interesting story because it's not based in the United States.
Yeah,
it's Russian.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They had the wild accents and stuff.
You have the is it the double pack? Do you have?
I bought both of the games when they came out on PS4, like separately.
So, yeah,
I got the double pack on PS4.
Yeah, I got the double. I actually got it was a pack with both of those games and Saints Row 4 and the Saints Row Gat Out of Hell for $12. So
good deal. That's a real good deal.
Good deal.
Yeah, so I ended up getting that, but I still haven't touched it yet. Okay, so they showed Shadow of the Tomb Raider gameplay. We already talked about that.
Looks so good. That's
but you know what? That does look good, but I haven't actually played it. I didn't play the other one, so I'm not even worried about that yet.
You gotta play. If you don't like the reboot Tomb Raider, which I think you would if you stick with it, Rise of the Tomb Raider is really really good.
Yeah,
they're
I can't
really
skip.
Great games.
Yeah,
I can never skip. I always got to go. I mean, but from what I saw,
recommend playing them all three. They're all three excellent games.
And it looks like it looks like something I'd enjoy because I enjoyed first 3 Uncharted games. So and it looks like a lot more of that. So
it is
just kind of with its own spin on it. Yeah. So
it's very similar.
Yeah,
but
different.
Different in ways like you out in the world surviving.
Mm-hmm.
As pertains to it's like your best weapon is a bow and arrow.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily a gun.
Mm-hmm. So you got to craft.
You have to craft bows, arrows,
upgrade your bow.
Upgrade. It's a mix of Uncharted and Far Cry.
Yeah,
that's definitely described.
It's better than Uncharted because Uncharted is like the oldies, like the low brand, no name kind of garbage of adventure. And Rise and
I'm coming to Chicago, man. I'm gonna chop you in your throat. I just
come to the city. Come to the city. We'll go get some deep dish pizza. We'll go get some Chicago hot dogs.
We're gonna do like Takashi did. We're gonna come out there at 4:00 in the morning, say we're on your block.
No, but like Rise of the Tomb Raider, you'll feel the difference. You'll be like, goodness, this game is tight. Like it's perfect in all that it does. And then Uncharted is just a gobble mess because it doesn't repeat a lot of the same stuff.
It depends on which Uncharted you're talking about.
I appreciate you going in on Uncharted. I enjoyed those games.
I did too.
A gobbled mess. Come on,
right?
Now.
Well, because if you're a person that's on a budget and you like see graded games, then Uncharted, which fits you just fine.
Ouch! You must be mad, dude.
You know what? Let's skip. Let's get out of here real quick. So, Ninja Theory.
You already know that I'm gonna say you love. You already know I'm gonna say you love.
Shot motion.
You know I'm gonna say you love on Twitter.
Don't worry. Nintendo coming up soon. Everybody start roasting Nintendo.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead. I have no problem. You roasting Nintendo. Go right ahead.
You didn't mention
a couple minutes ago. You were talking like you want smoke.
You didn't mention Halo Infinite.
That's a good one. Halo Infinite. They ain't show nothing.
I'm going down the list.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite was the first game that they showed off, though.
Yeah. What about Battletoads? Interested in that? Coming out in 2019. All right. What about Cyberpunk 2077?
That looks excellent.
Yeah.
They showed that.
I need to see gameplay.
Yeah.
Because I can't go by that trailer. Looking at it, it'd be like, okay, the trailer that y'all show, and then a picture of the woman with the guy shooting, looking like a cop. Like, this is two different things. So I need to see some actual gameplay.
I give you that.
Yeah, I mean, all the videos that I've seen about people talking about the game, they said it's amazing. It's just like something you've never seen. It goes way beyond their expectations. But of course, yeah, I still have to see it for myself because I'm really picky about video games. So I'm not gonna really go in and be like, oh, everyone else is saying it's something next level, so it's it's gonna be something I love when, yeah, there's just a lot of games that don't really play out that way for me. Like I played Gears and I thought it was kind of garbage. But a lot of people love that game. So, that's just one example. But Ninja Theory, Microsoft owned. That's not really, it's not a game, but we can still talk about that.
That's big. That's a major win for Microsoft. And me and my friend, we talked about if they ever bought them or they work with Microsoft, that's what they need. They need a company like that. And Ninja Theory, they just make some of the best games, and they don't get the full credit for the work that they do. The only sad part that I have for them is that I really would like to see what they could do, make a game for Nintendo. Like not take one of their licenses or anything, but just with the technology that Nintendo has, what they could do about it. But because Ninja Theory needs more power to tell their games, like to make their games, to tell their stories, I'm okay with them not making a game for Nintendo.
There's still potential for that to happen because you see how close Nintendo and Microsoft are playing right now, trying to get the cross play going on and all that. Microsoft is trying to get as many allies as they can get. You know what I mean? So who knows? For all they know, they might, for all we know, they might try to get Rare together and actually get a Diddy Kong racing thing going back on and have it on Xbox and Nintendo and be doing the, have it cross-platform gameplay or something. I don't know. So you never know.
Me and my friend was just like, if Xbox could put like their small indie games on the eShop, and even if you or let you buy some of their games through Xbox Live if you got an account, I think that would be good business for Nintendo and Microsoft. Like, even if you bought it from the eShop, it's in your Xbox. So now you can do like not Game Pass, the Play Anywhere initiative, where you can play on your Xbox or PC. But you buy it on your Switch, you can also play it on that too. And it just could be their indie games. It don't have to be like big games, like or in the Blind Forest. Put that on Switch, and it would do major sales.
I think what Xbox is doing is smart.
Oh yeah,
they're clearly planning for the next generation right now. All the moves they're making now with Game Pass and Xbox Live and their partnership with Nintendo per se, it's all for not necessarily this generation, for the next generation. So when they roll out next generation, you're gonna get Xbox, whatever they're gonna call it, and you're gonna have Game Pass with it. You're gonna already have a library of games, which are gonna be the old Xbox One games, old Xbox 360 games, old Xbox original games. You're going to have this whole library of games. You're going to be able to play with your Switch players, whatever Nintendo console's out at that time. And when you look at that compared to what PlayStation is doing, where PlayStation's kind of being more of, we're doing our own thing, you're either with PlayStation or you're not with us at all, it brings a better light on the Microsoft.
Yeah, but it's kind of not fair.
Yeah, but
it's not fair because I remember back in the PS3 days when Sony was the one trying to get cross-platform and Xbox was in a good position and they didn't want it. Now Xbox is kind of struggling and they're like, "Hey, let's all get along. We don't have to be enemies." And so they're on some bull crap, and to try, and then they're actually trying to warp it.
But see, I can understand why that was happening. First of all, Phil Spencer wasn't ahead of Xbox during the 360 days at that time. And I think when he got promoted to there was a shift of him trying to work with everybody. I think is not Aaron Greenberg. It was someone else over 360 before Phil Spencer took over. And I think if Phil Spencer was there during 360, I think he would allow crossplay to happen. But because
possibility,
he wasn't there, and that's why he's been trying to be like, hey, Sony, let's work together. Hey, Nintendo, let's work together. Let's make this not a unified system, but like let's give the players that crossplay for the games, so that any company that they buy from, they are not only making money, but they get to play with different people around the world on different consoles. And people are. And people are, and the fans are saying, we will pay the money to do this if you allow us to do it. And even if it shows, then it shows them that people were right about having crossplay against all three platforms.
That's all good for right now, but you can already see that Microsoft is still steady trying to get themselves back in a position where they can have more control over everything and lock it down like it was before, right? All this is to get people in the door, but I guarantee you that if things go their way and they get millions of people back on board with Xbox, they're going to start locking things back down, and they're going to want to limit online gaming to
I think
gaming on their Xbox streaming platform, gaming on Xbox on Windows 10, and whatever future console comes. So it's just going to be, if you want the cheaper alternative, I guarantee you they're going to have this. It's going to be like a Steam streaming box or something. It's going to be like $50. And then you pay for the monthly service, and then you're going to be able to stream games because they already announced that that's coming. They're not going to want to do this whole we play along with everybody if it's going to take away. You know what I mean? So they're going to want to keep you locked into the Microsoft platform, but it's just, this is what they have to do right now.
I think what will happen is that they're not trying to, I don't think they're trying to lock it, but they're trying to offer you a better deal to buy it on their system. That's why the Play Anywhere initiative works for them. For Microsoft's first party, I'm not talking about third party. With third party, it's going to be up to them as the developers on allowing that to happen across all the platforms. Because even Nintendo was just said, we want to work with developers who want to do crossplay. If you want to do it, there's no problem. Do it on our system. And Nintendo literally just said that. And Microsoft probably see it as the same thing. If you guys want to do crossplay, go right ahead. Let's do crossplay so that everybody between us, because it's y'all still getting the money whether you buy it on that one system or a different system. You still getting the money. You still getting part of that $60.
Now, but all of this started with Fortnite, right? That Sony players couldn't play with Nintendo or something. Is that how all this came about?
Sony, you can't log into Fortnite with your Epic account if it's connected to your PlayStation 4.
You have to make a new account.
Right, you got to make a new account because they don't allow. They thinking it's crossplay for some unknown reason, but it's not.
I think that's gonna get fixed, by the way.
Yeah, because the thing, Sony is they would have to fix it. I think Sony and Epic would somehow need to work together to get this situated, because if you have an Epic account that's connected to your Xbox One, you can log into Fortnite on your Switch.
Yeah. The thing that people are upset about this, like, I understand, like, you shouldn't be able to lock someone's account down to the point where if you actually connect it to the PlayStation, to your PlayStation account, it's like you can't even detach it and put it somewhere else. Like, it's just, it doesn't work with anything else. Like, but if it was just like, okay, well, you can't take this account and use the stuff that you have in here and play it on another, on another console. Like, I get that. That's for every game. You know what I mean? Like, if you play The Division on Xbox, you can't there's no way to swap your materials if you go over and play the same game on freaking, on PlayStation 4. There's no way to do anything like that. They've never allowed you to share your content across games.
But you can use Uplay on each one of the systems, and with the same Uplay account, which is what I think what it's called thing is. Like,
I think he's mentioned your in-game saves. Like the data that saves, you can't transfer it between both systems.
You can't transfer the data that saves, but you can transfer your account with Uplay. Yeah. Which I think that's what I'm saying. Kind of what the Fortnite thing is, kind of more or less, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what it's about, and that's why I'm saying. Like, I understand that part, but some people are going to the next level, saying like not Microsoft, but Sony is tripping because they won't allow people to actually go to the point of, allowing people to take their actual game content like across platform, because other people are letting them do it. Like on Microsoft, you can actually do that. On Xbox, I mean, you can take your crap with you, but they never did that before.
I think you should be able to take your account. Like if you sign into I forget what is it, Battle.net server, whatever the hell it's called.
Mm-hmm. For Blizzard,
Blizzard.net, whatever the hell it's called.
It's Battle.net.
Okay, I was right. If you sign the Battle, you should be able to sign into Battle.net anywhere, whether it's on your Switch, PS4, or Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now you shouldn't be able to take your content over there, but you still should be able to sign into your account.
And that's what everybody wants.
That's what I'm thinking. Like I was saying earlier, like with the Uplay, you can sign the Uplay on whatever system you want to. But it doesn't mean your Xbox stuff is going to transfer to your PS4. You just sign in the Uplay.
Yeah, the fact that they would ever think that it's cool to actually lock an account to the PlayStation. It's like, well, you know what? Yeah, you can't use this anywhere else. Like they basically like took ownership of your account. Like that's whack. You can't do that. Yeah. But so what else do they have? We were still on Microsoft, right?
Battlefield 5, online. I'm only interested. Only other game I'm interested in is
you can't talk about Battlefield 5 because Battlefield 5 has girls in it, so it's historically inaccurate.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
Listen. I'm not even tripping off of that. It's just when you first start playing, and it's like, okay, we're playing a World War II game. And this fool has a metal arm, and people are jumping from the second story and doing all this stuff. That's historically inaccurate. You know what I mean?
No, just crashing through a building, and it's just falling like waterfall, like with ease. It's just like, no, that's not a tank going through a brick thing like that, and the whole house coming down, and nothing's wrong with the tank. It's just going through. Like, no.
Call of Duty has fucking zombies in World War II. Like, really?
Listen, that's a separate mode. It's like that's like a alternate universe. You know what I mean?
It's a freaking video game. Who cares if there's a girl? Oh, I have to play with a girl character? Oh my gosh.
Listen. Expectations for every different expectations are different for every game. Some people expect more realism in certain games.
Guess what? White people, stop making a big deal out of little stuff, because y'all the only ones that's arguing about this whole thing. Not one black person is worried about some female is in a Battlefield game. Y'all white folks, sorry, not trying to be racist, but y'all white folks, and y'all the only ones who brought this mess up. It's a character model that for a game that you probably gonna trade in to get next year for something else. So why are you even making it a big deal?
And the funny thing about it is, what makes me laugh is, the last Battlefield game had a black guy on the cover. And the funny thing about that is, if anybody who played the last Battlefield game, that black guy was literally in the game all of 5 freaking minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. No, he didn't die. His story is like the prologue of the game.
Yeah,
dang.
It's a cool prologue. It's really cool. It's really fun and cool prologue.
Is he an actor? He looks familiar.
I think he is.
But the black dude that was in second season just came out, Luke Cage.
Is it him?
Nah, he didn't look anything like
He
him.
looks just like him.
He didn't look anything like him.
I gotta
He
look it
had
up.
a totally different face.
But you can't get mad over video games.
You say that, but if spaceships show up in The Last of Us 2, you're gonna be tripping. Come on
Yeah,
now. You expect a certain level of groundedness in certain games.
But it's a big difference between a spaceship showing up in a video game that's a survival horror than a damn girl carrying a gun in the war. It's a
Hey, I
huge
can't
difference.
dictate what takes someone else out of the experience. You know what I mean? Hey, it's
Absurd.
People don't know their history. They just mad that they see a female character on it, so they make a big whoop.
I'm
That's
not
it.
mad. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah,
If
see, I
they were
think it's-
actually in the battle, then hey, let it be. But
And guess what? Buy the
they
game or
wasn't-
not. Buy the
Even-
game or not. If it bothers you so bad, don't buy the game. Let everybody else buy the game and have fun. And sit your end down in the corner somewhere with a dust hat. And go
I get
actually
you.
read the
Listen,
history
listen.
book.
let somebody do
About that
something
time.
to one of your Nintendo games, and you won't just be like, oh, I won't just buy it. No, you probably go raging on Twitter.
No.
So you know what I mean?
People no, because I know with Nintendo, people regret 2 years later that they didn't buy that game or buy that system. Now they want to go back and buy it, and then they go on eBay and it's $300 some plus.
See, my problem with the whole thing is the fact that none of the characters in Battlefield are real people.
Oh my
None of them.
God.
Right.
So why does it matter? It's not like they're like, oh, this is the actual general right here. No, it's a made-up character, a made-up story.
That's not the
gives a
point. They just want the story, even though it is not real, to somewhat be grounded in
They're over
reality
there
because
dead.
it's based on a real life event. That's it. That's it. They don't want it to be. They don't want
I'm
it to
just
be
tripping. You just start
100%.
your speech off with, "Hey, white people."
Because literally,
So those are
literally,
the, so,
what game has a black folks have made a big stink over besides Resident Evil 5?
Oh, I was talking about there earlier.
I know of something.
Take over that. I didn't care about Resident Evil. I played the shit out of
Oh
Resident
no,
Evil
no!
5.
People went ham over that. They were saying it was racist. It's like
I didn't care.
you don't really have any representation, and then when you do, it's like you finally get a whole bunch of black people and they're getting shot in the head and stuff like that.
They were
Right.
zombies, and he was in Africa.
I
It
get
made
it.
sense for the plot.
I
And the
get it.
other main character in the game was an African woman.
I don't know.
I don't see. I didn't see them
Yeah,
at
the
GameStop
other-
with protest
President
signs
Trump
and
was an African woman.
singing Negro spirituals and
Dang.
all that
And then-
goofy mess.
And then you think about it. It's most of the other times when you're shooting zombies, they're probably white people like 90% of the time. So
Yeah.
so then people really were blowing that out of proportion. I was never a fan of that series anyway, so I didn't care. But yeah, people were kind of going ham a little bit.
I have
Or it could
fun
have just been the
getting
media.
trophies.
It could have just been the media making a big deal out of
That's the
nothing.
funny thing about it. If they had made that same game in Africa and just had a bunch of damn white zombies, people would have had a fit.
Oh yeah, because it'd have been like, oh, you're how you gonna replace all the black people?
Well, the white
But-
people now having a fit when it comes to race because of Nazis and because of the Far Cry 5 mess. It's just like, really, we're doing
What
this.
Far Cry 5 mess?
People were upset. Oh no, that was a cult. Wolfenstein 2. When some of the white people was upset because you were shooting Nazis and they was just like, that's not us. It was like actual Nazi
What?
people.
Nazis?
didn't
We're gonna
read this?
say we're not the bad Nazis. We're the good guys. We
Yeah.
buy ice cream for
There's
little
good people on both
kids.
sides.
You said
Did-
what?
There's good people on both sides.
Continue on down the list.
You know what? Chill out, man.
Continue down the list.
If you don't know what that
All right.
reference is, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna let that sit there.
You know what? I don't really know.
You better know what that reference is, because that happened last year. That happened last year, this year. That
Last
was last
year.
year.
Oh, you talking about that college campus thing with the fools with the tiki torches?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what your president said. That was
In
your president
Charlottesville.
said when he was
Yeah.
coming up for it.
Yeah.
Coming
I
up for the
don't know
Nazis.
that.
Like, there's
How
good
you
people on
gonna
both
be a
sides.
Nazi in polo shirts? Just and having these
Hey,
tiki
man.
torches from Target. Like, really?
Hey, listen,
Khaki pants.
Right.
Nazis wear everything. They could be your officer, your dentist, and that's the scary part.
All right, we're not doing this. Gears 5 was shown, and it looks fantastic.
Wait, what?
Gears 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Gears 5 looks really interesting. I hated. No. I take that back. Not hate, but I was extremely disappointed in Gears. I finally got the Ultimate Edition because I didn't play it during the 360 time because I didn't own a 360. Finally got it because I got the Xbox One, and I thought it was a pretty mediocre game. But that one looks like it has like some elements of like Tomb Raider, and the story seems a little bit deeper. And the characters don't look like big swole steroid like creatures. Like they actually look, creatures. Yeah, like, no, but if you look at the new trailer, like they look smaller. It's like they made some adjustments.
Yeah,
I think you should play 4 because 4 heads into that direction anyway.
I can't jump 3 games, and I don't really know if I can stand it.
Jump 3 games to play 5.
You can actually jump in 4. 4 don't. Yeah, 4 doesn't really.
That is very true. But I'll probably have to watch a video and catch up.
4 is a reboot. 4 is like part 1 technically.
Yeah, it's like a new story. So you'll be fine playing 4.
Maybe I'll do that. If I can get somebody to run co-op with me, then I'll probably do that.
I will.
I'd actually play that. I like Gears. I like Gears a lot.
All right, if I get that one on sale, because I'm not paying anywhere near full price.
Well, it's $20 now. If that.
Yeah, it's actually. Yeah, I think it's. I think it's 17. I think it's 17.09 on Xbox One right now because of their. Yeah,
I'm not really a digital guy. If I can get it physical, I prefer it. One, just because I want to build up my collection, because we're getting near the end of the physical time, the physical era, and all those are going to shoot up in price once the announcement of the first all digital console comes. You know what I mean? So I'm just preparing for that. But and plus I just like physical.
That's a whole other conversation for a whole other day about my opinion on if that happens.
It's gonna happen. Not next generation, but the generation after that. Because the whole world isn't set for that. Especially Microsoft is not trying to lose that market. You know what I mean? They're not trying to not be able to sell consoles in markets where the internet is still like stuck back in 1998. And I know I'm not used to that, but there are lots of people out there that still have internet running at kilobits per second. So it's a struggle. So they can't really go all digital yet, but 2 generations, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, like you said, another conversation for another time.
What about Crackdown 3?
Hot garbage.
Yeah.
I actually it looks like Saints Row 4, and that was the worst of the bunch. And I actually got time to play Crackdown. I went to E3 last year. It was pretty. Mm-hmm. It was like I said, it was like Saints Row 4. So if you played Saints Row 4 and you didn't like all the jumping around and floatiness of the characters and all that, and doing all these special tricks while you're shooting, then you're not gonna like that.
Yeah. But that's if you play Crackdown 1, because a lot of people like that first one over 2.
I didn't play any of them. But
yeah, that's the thing. I think for those who played it are looking really for it. I'm looking forward to Crackdown 3 because I like how they redid like the art, like the character models and stuff.
It didn't look that good when I played it. It was
ain't never coming out.
Listen, you know what? I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I think they're gonna keep playing this game, and they wanted to wait until they actually announce that they got new studios and more games coming out to soften the blow, and then eventually they're gonna phase it out. I said that like last week, but they actually gave a release date for it, so I'm like, I don't know.
If they phase Crackdown out, that last string of Xbox One games that they were supposed to have coming out was a complete failure. Because think about
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it was, what was it? Quantum Break, which came out, which was pretty good, but people had this problem with it. Then they had Scalebound, which didn't come out. Then they had Crackdown, which we're still waiting for. And then they had what was it on? It was Fable.
No,
Fable.
Which they're actually coming out with another Fable. I heard they recently announced that they do have
they didn't.
One coming. They didn't?
No. Nope.
Was that no Fable rumor? That was just rumor.
Yeah, that was rumor.
Dang.
Yeah,
Oh,
a lot of
never
people, man. A lot of people wanted Fable to come out because
You 100% sure?
because people was wondering who was doing it, and they thought Playground was doing Fable. The people who makes Forza Horizon, they thought they was doing the next Fable. So they thought at E3 when they mentioned like anything from Playground, Fable would get announced, and it wasn't.
Well, dang. What did you guys think about Sekiro or Sekiro? I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Sekiro looks really good.
Yeah,
That's
Sekiro
really good.
Shadows Die Twice. Yeah, that looks
Really good. I wonder though. I wonder though if it's an action adventure game with Dark Souls, kind of like where some of the gameplay. Because there was one part that looked like it was arena based combat at one point.
Looks more like a Neo type game to me.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But it's like, but the movement is like it's more
Swifter.
fluid. Yeah, it looks smooth. That was that's one of my main issues with the like Dark Souls and Bloodborne and stuff like that. Well, Bloodborne, it looks a little more like the movement looks smoother too. It's just that everything feels so stiff.
Well, Bloodborne is really it's good, but it's clunky.
Well, I thought that. See, I first thought this game was going to be Onimusha. By the way that it looked, I'm like, oh, they got Onimusha, Capcom doing a new one. And then my other friend was just like, mentioned a game called Blood with Tail that came on, that was from Sega, based off of manga. I was just like, I could see that, but I really thought it was Onimusha coming. And I'm like, oh, it's from Software.
I thought that too. I kind of thought it was gonna be a new Onimusha game, but Devil May Cry 5. Oh wait, Derek, you didn't say anything on it?
Oh,
you want to say something?
No, I had no interest in it. No.
Oh, okay.
Derek, where the hell are all your notes at?
I got them right here, brother. I can tell you every game they announced. I'm just not interested in a lot of them. I told you the ones I was interested in.
So let's get the PlayStation.
I mean, y'all skipped over the Gears Tactics and the Gears of War.
Oh yeah, and the stupid pop game. Yeah,
I want to play the pop game.
I know they announced a new studio. They announced DLC for Ep.6, Tales of Vesperia.
You mean PUBG?
Yeah, I say Ep.6.
Yeah.
My head right. So
I'm like, dang, they skipped about 5.
What kind of British fire? Right, what kind of British battle royale bar game are you announcing?
My bad. Announced a game, Black Desert, Pearl Abyss.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They showed that one last year though.
That one got all these good notes. You got these good notes. You stayed over there silent. Come on, man.
Yeah, We Happy Few. I know I don't want to play that one. I'm not interested. So, yeah, I was. I told you the games that I'm interested in are the Forza Horizon, which is coming out this year.
Yeah,
my problem with
really
Microsoft is they're announcing some of these games, but they're coming out with them free in Game Pass. So it's like, just get Game Pass, you're going to get a good portion of their library for free. You know, unless it's not the multi-platinum form games. You know, because I don't know, man. I just think, I know Game Pass is $30 now for 6 months, so you can really get a year of it for $60, which is the price of one of these games anyway. So I think people should just go out there and get Game Pass, and whatever Microsoft puts in there, you know, the new games, just get them for free, you know, basically. Oh, and Kingdom Hearts 3, they announced.
Yeah.
I care about the Kingdom Hearts.
I never played the other ones.
I'm interested in the series, but I didn't catch up on all of them. I finished part 1, most of it, and I couldn't beat the last boss, so I just watched it on YouTube. But I'm still kind of confused on the story, and I just want to take my time and play all the other good ones that people were recommending, like Birth by Sleep and nah. But they released all those in the collections on PS3, and I got one of those, so I'm just gonna play those.
Oh, you got the okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go I'm gonna go get those. I'm gonna go get the 2.5 or whatever HD remake for PS3, and I'll play through those, and then I'll be caught up. And so
yeah, because I bought the PS4 version because they got the 2.8, so they got the extra one. I beat 1 and 2, but I haven't beat the international one, so I kind of know. I kind of know what they're trying to do, but because they got so many side games, they kind of like really mess up the whole story. So if you want to know, you can really watch it on YouTube. But it is so weird on how they did these games.
Yeah, I mean, I'll figure that out once I actually get deep into it. But for right now, I still need to figure out exactly what happened in part 1 because I'm still not 100% sure there. But yeah, one of these days I'm gonna get into it.
Oh, them still in the hearts, the princess's hearts.
Kinda. I forgot, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
it's been a minute. But
yeah, it was all about stealing the princesses, their hearts. It was like all about
make sure everything you're telling doesn't actually start to creep over in part 2's story, because I want everything to be a surprise.
Part 2 story, you actually have to play some of the side games to understand why part 2 is happening, because what happened at part 1 doesn't even connect to part 2.
Kingdom Hearts is one of those series that has like 28 games, but they only on part 3.
Wow.
No, yeah, 20. They have 28 games, and 70% of the whole series is on the Nintendo console.
Yeah,
and it's only 4 games. Right, it's only 4 games that's on PlayStation.
It's Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 1.5, Kingdom Hearts 1.2.5, 2.6.53, Kingdom Hearts 3.5, 2.4.
There's a game called Birth by Sleep that's on the PSP. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are on PS2. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 would be like the next game on Sony, even though it is coming to Xbox. But those are 1 to 3 are the main games that's only on Sony. And then the way that the series actually started is on PSP. But when they finished Kingdom Hearts 1, they started doing like stuff for DS, and all of those most of those side games are on the DS and 3DS.
Which, see, that's what made the whole thing about Microsoft getting they got like the advertising rights for Kingdom Hearts. It was like so weird. Like, why do you want to put so much effort into promoting and getting people to play this game on your platform when none of the people that are really into Xbox know anything about this story, which people that even played the game consider confusing? So you want them to jump in on part 3 and think they're going to be invested? It's not going to sell well on Xbox.
They're trying to get advertising for it. They were trying to get on Xbox.
Right. They were trying to get more Japanese developers.
Priority. That's why they got to show it at E3. And if you even look at the advertising,
it was on Sony's floor too. Yeah, and plus I think Sony has exclusive content to Kingdom Hearts.
No,
I think so.
No.
I don't think so. Exclusive content.
Sony just had that. Sony just had that showing for that level to show people that this is what's going to be in the game. Where Microsoft, I guess, if you're right, that they're showing that, you know, this game is coming to Xbox. Like, only reason why Xbox is doing it because they want more Japanese developers on their system so they can sell games, definitely in Japan. Where Sony knows that if they show this level in Kingdom Hearts, people will be more interested in buying it, because Sony's got that Kingdom Hearts 3 PS. I don't know if it's a Pro.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a big. That's what they announced on the Sony.
Right.
Store.
They got the
PS4 Pro.
Pro.
Kingdom Hearts PS4 Pro.
They got that system, and then they got that bundle. But
yeah, but if you go ahead.
Oh, but Xbox just wanted it so they can have Japanese developers.
Yeah, they just the game is coming to Xbox as well.
Yeah, but look,
it's a Sony priority.
If you look, I know they have the system, but I saw advertisements on all, like, GameSpot was showing them, and if you actually look at them, you can see that nowhere ever is Xbox One placed first on the list of available consoles that it's for. Xbox was first. They made sure Xbox got the longest presentation. And I'm pretty sure I remember like them announcing it like 2 years ago that Microsoft actually paid for advertisement priority. So at the when they're actually showing the commercials like on TV and stuff, you're gonna see them. It's gonna be like, you know, that whole thing where they say the best place to play is on Xbox, even though it's available on both. So they actually paid for that. I remember that.
And if they did pay for that marketing, it'll probably be later on down the year. You know how they'll show the logo on Xbox at the beginning or end. They'll show that to see
that kind of crap Microsoft.
Like that. Like if they do that throughout the year, then yeah, Microsoft paid for that.
It's possible, but that's a stupid idea that they did because
it is. That's what I was saying.
Let's get off Kingdom Hearts for one thing. This is way too much
for them paying for the marketing.
I was going to say that because it's stupid because Sony has a Kingdom Hearts console,
right? Yeah,
with the game. So why would you promote a game that Sony not only has also, but has a console for it? I can see if Xbox had a Kingdom Hearts console, custom console. Now I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But Sony has the console that has not only Kingdom Hearts.
Well, it's good because the thing about it is like because you got a console, they're gonna if they advertise it more on Xbox, the belief is that they're gonna be putting more people in, knowing that Xbox is the lead place to play this game. And they got until next year to do all of that. Just because you got a console out don't really mean nothing.
But they did that
they did that for Monster Hunter at the Tokyo Game Show, and I don't see nobody with that system. They got the game. They got the game because people want to play Monster Hunter, but that Monster Hunter system, I don't even know who even owns that. I don't even know if they sold it here in America.
It's parents who are probably going to GameStop and said, "Oh, my son wanted Kingdom Hearts. Oh, they have a whole PS4 that's dedicated to Kingdom Hearts. Let me just get them this."
It looks like a wallet, like a fake Louis Vuitton. I'm like, this looks ugly.
We got to move on. We've been talking for almost 2 hours, and we still haven't got the Sony yet.
No.
I mean, but you said 2 hours.
Games that Microsoft had.
Good Lord.
Is with any interest in Jump Force
or trying to move y'all along.
Dying Light 2.
Dang, see, next time I got to get a timer up so I know because, dang, time is just flying.
Yeah. So no interest in Dying Light 2? Did y'all play the first one?
I haven't played the first, so I'm not.
I have it for Xbox One and PS4. I just need to make some time to play it.
All right,
but I'm interested in it.
I'll probably pick it up.
All right, let's move on to Sony,
let's go. Let's do this real quick. All right, what do you guys think of The Last of Us 2?
Well, this is gonna be easy because Sony didn't have many exclusives. They just prioritized on the big four. The first one was The Last of Us, of course. What did you guys think of that whole thing they did in the beginning? And nobody knew what the hell was going on until they actually saw the trailer for The Last of Us.
Oh,
I just watched that today because I was watching on my phone coming home, and it just got dark, and then I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then I watched it again today, and the beginning of the game, they had that tent set up exactly like that, where the Ellie and the girl were dancing. It was exactly like that. Why they did it, I don't know.
The problem with that is they didn't explain nothing.
No, not at all.
They should have explained that or had like something like gameplay footage in the background while they were playing that would have made sense.
Yeah.
But this guys is just sitting out here playing on this thing. We're like, what the hell is going on?
How can you not know?
What are you talking about? This is not your normal day at church. Wait,
how do you not know that was obviously Last of Us music though?
Well, if you're paying attention, this has to be doing The Last of Us. But if you're sitting there watching this, you're like, why is this guy out here for 5 minutes playing a song?
It was obviously the theme.
Why would they look like they was at a banquet hall waiting for the choir to come to sing something? Like they had like chicken dinners and everything sitting on the table. Like, what is this nonsense?
Yeah, that was
that didn't play well to the crowd.
No.
And then you actually look at the part of
like they were actually supposed to be like providing an experience. So I heard like in between showings, like the reveals, they were having people moving from room to room. So it was just they created an experience for the people that were there, and we couldn't understand what was going on.
It didn't play well for the TV crowd. The problem with that is they showed the trailer. The trailer for The Last of Us was not really a trailer. It was literally gameplay. Looked fantastic.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It looked great. It was beyond
It
great.
didn't look all of that.
Man.
Way too
you guys finally learned how to do. You actually learn how to steal gameplay from Tomb Raider and put it into your game.
What?
You know what? Let's skip to Nintendo real quick. And then go back. Leave the best for last, so we can get to this garbage.
Hold on, because I want to talk about Control. I thought Control was good from Remedy. That was beautiful. I love that trailer. And Ghost of Tsushima was really good. Like those colors and stuff. I'm looking forward to those two games. I just looked at The Last of Us 2 as this looks like Tomb Raider. If I played it, and that's probably because I played Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I was doing those same things. That's why.
Fired. Oh my God.
Pretty much.
Nigga, when did you employ me? When did you start paying my bills?
His Twitter is @thatretrocode. So you want to see
Go at him.
His trash talking about The Last of Us, Uncharted.
Please bring them all. I need more followers. I want y'all to hear my podcast and everything. Yeah, give me the fans. Come on. Bring me the love. Bring me the hate. We're gonna have a good conversation.
Code.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Right in the throat. I promise you, in the throat.
It looked amazing. Like it looked like a combination of classic The Last of Us. Yes, there were some elements that did remind me of Tomb Raider. It really did. But he had that cinematic feel that kind of came from what was it? The Order 1886.
So
it was. It just it looked beautiful. It
didn't blow me away. I thought it was. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I thought some other games there. I thought there were some other games at the Sony press conference that was better than The Last of Us. I was just like, y'all just stole y'all combat from Rise of the Tomb Raider to make it actually playable.
Watch this dude say friggin' Smash Bros was like best reveal of E3.
Who?
You.
Like I said.
I said
Spider-Man.
I said Damon Machina.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Spider-Man
looks good. Yes.
Yeah, that looked crazy good.
I was already gonna buy that. When I seen it, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this.
I like that they showed lengthy gameplay demos of the games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
let you know, like, hey, these games are out here. It's not like a trailer. This game is working. You will be playing this soon.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think of? Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
To add on to that. We saw gameplay footage of Death Stranding. What the hell is going on?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's gonna be one of those games where a whole bunch of people are gonna complain because there's gonna be a whole bunch of cutscenes. Just like they did with that one Metal Gear game. They were like, "Oh, it's too much to watch. I don't."
Is it Metal Gear 4?
I think so.
I think it's gonna be one of those games where people are gonna pretend like they know what the hell's going on and they're gonna have no clue what the hell's going on.
Did you see the trailer? Did you see someone cut the trailer? They did, and they put like the Breath of the Wild trailer music, and it fits for some other reason. When they cut the trailer with him, doing him walking all around, and then they just had the Breath of the Wild music. I was just like, these fools.
It looks interesting to say the least.
Yes.
It really does.
I have no interest in it at all. You get walking around with a baby in a jar or something. I can't.
Oh, some of them was really shady. That the PS4 Pro bundle, it's the United States Post Office packaging. It comes with the clothes, Amazon boxes, envelopes. I was just like, y'all was shady for that.
Yo, that game looks so weird.
Yeah.
The only thing I thought was a little off is that the character movements looked a little stiff. Like when he was walking along that path, it was like, I hope y'all are good. I mean, I'm sure they're still kind of in the early stages. So
no, that's how Kojima games kind of move in a sense. You ever played the Metal Gear series?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metal Gear characters kind of have that I don't want to say clunky movement, but it's kind of like
Very robotic.
Their run animation is not like really fluid.
Yeah,
I really don't. I really don't want that to take me out of the experience. You know what I mean? Like, because the character model still looks really good. It's just like you can kind of see him clipping over hills. You know what I mean? Like where it's not really flat. It's like he's kind of bumping a little bit. So if they could fix that, it looks interesting. But we still didn't really get too much about the gameplay. Like, what the heck is going on? And
for what I gathered, you use the baby as like a beacon to show you where the shadows are at.
But so it's like, but why are they there? How did it all start? But the thing is,
well, you have to. They're probably gonna be like, you gotta play the game to find that out.
And you know what?
No, I don't.
You know what? I will. Like that's one of those games where I don't know anything about it, and I'm really down to drop the money to figure it out. Like, I like that. That's kind of like that old school experience. You know what I mean? Now we know so much about a game before it comes out. You know, but back then it wasn't like that. You didn't get all this. You know, you really know everything about the experience before you get it. You know what I mean? People ruining the game online. So, you know, it's like you don't really get to experience it in the same way. So I jump into that like that. And I decided the same thing about Control. Like, I was about to watch the Control trailer, or they were about to show some gameplay, and I was like, nah, that's one of those games where I just want to experience it. Like, I've seen enough to know that I'm interested, so I'll get it one day.
Control was the one where the building and stuff was folding, right? And stuff around. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
All right. Let me ask this question about Death Stranding. Do you think it comes out before 2020?
No. Before 2020?
I think it comes out
or later.
I think it comes out 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about The Last of Us? Last of Us before 2020?
The Last of Us is going to be fall of next year.
Yeah, I could see it coming around that time.
But
who knows? I mean, I want them to take their time. I don't care. I really don't care. I just want Naughty Dog to deliver the best experience they can. I'm not worried about deadlines or any of that. Just, give us the good stuff. You know what I mean? Bump all that. Who's the company that delivers games on a yearly schedule? And I know Ubisoft was doing that for a while, and the Assassin's Creed games were really affected by that. So I don't want anyone to.
Call of Duty delivers games on a yearly schedule.
That's Activision.
Yeah.
I hate developers having to be put under all that pressure. You know what I mean? And then when you hear about all the stories about what goes on behind the scenes, and then when you hear that, it's not surprising that a lot of these games fail to live up to the hype because they're put under so much pressure. Like, how can you really produce all that great, art when they're putting so much pressure on you to deliver something really fast to make the
masses. Make the profit back. Yeah.
Well, no, not really the masses. The investors, I was gonna say.
Yeah, you can say that too. Either or, because I think games have a time limit on it. It's only a certain amount of time people will wait for a delayed game, or they're like, well, I don't want to play this crap anymore. It happens plenty of times. Like, look at Duke Nukem Forever. It took so long for that game to come out to it kind of like out-marketed itself out. When people were like, I don't want to play this. It was so outdated when it.
Go ahead.
It was so outdated when it came out. It was like, ugh, this is even worth it.
Oh my god. No, but Duke Nukem Forever is just that it took so long that games came out that were better than it. You know what I mean? But I mean, people still bought freaking Final Fantasy. What was it? What was that game?
15?
15? Yeah, I think it was 15. Yeah, Final Fantasy 15, they still bought that. And people are still going to go out heavy and support Kingdom Hearts 3. So it just really depends on whether your game provides a unique experience. You know what I mean? But if it gets...
See, those are kind of different in a sense. Because what Final Fantasy 15, whatever, was it? It was technically 5 years, but it really wasn't.
It was like 10 years.
it was a different game though.
Yeah,
Slightly.
You know,
it was supposed to be part of the 13 series.
Yeah, it was a completely different game.
Yeah,
I don't know, but completely
Different game.
in
They
formula.
changed-
It looks very similar.
There's a trailer that was out before.
Yeah, you got to watch the original
came
trailer.
out.
The original trailer.
I've seen the original trailer. You talking about the one where they were in the city?
No, it's a different one.
No, it's a different one. It's a sword. They're like having a sword fight. It's more of a. It was supposed to be. Versus was supposed to be a darker Final Fantasy game.
Right,
I remember I saw the original trailer.
With the sword fight, only thing I think is that they kept was Noctis. I think, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think so, because they were like in some kind of hallway or something. They had like red carpet that they was fighting.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I think that was like the first one, because I know they weren't outside yet. I think they were inside still.
No, they were outside. I think it was. I think the first trailer wasn't like at night, or no, or was it daytime? I'm not sure.
I'll have to go back and look at it.
Yeah,
But they changed that game completely. That's not Versus. No longer existed. 15 is a completely different game.
so none of the characters are the same in that.
Only this person is the same. To my knowledge, is Noctis, and I think his girlfriend. That's about it.
I don't know. It's just it looked like I'm talking about like combat wise. Like if you're talking about environments that they changed, from what I saw,
they changed the whole story.
It looked like it means well. I see. I didn't know much about the story. Like the original trailer didn't really tell much about the story. It just kind of showed you some characters, some combat, some really pretty environments, and slashing up enemies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And some big boss type looking monsters. But it didn't really show you too much about the story. Not that I saw.
To my knowledge, they did a complete overhaul on that game because what they were making for PS3 wasn't running right on PS3. So they scrapped it. They completely scrapped it and made a whole another game. So Versus was killed and they just turned it into Final Fantasy 15 because they changed the story completely. And everything along with it.
But I bet there's a video on that on YouTube.
I'm quite sure there is. And the Kingdom Hearts. This is the funny tricky thing about Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts was technically never announced. Everybody knew they were working on Kingdom Hearts, but they never really gave it the release date or anything like that to it. So you can't release something it was never announced. Everybody knew they were working on it, but they never gave a release date for Kingdom Hearts until like I want to say this year.
Wait, no, didn't they give us like a? They said it was in development like 3 years ago.
Right,
yeah.
They announced it a couple of years ago, but the first time that they showed it, I think was. If it wasn't 2016, it was last year that they showed.
Yeah, exactly. They've been saying that.
But they did say that it was in development. Yeah.
But they never showed anything or said anything about it till like 2015 or 2016.
So how long do you think this game has been in development? Like how many years?
Which one? Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts 3?
Or Final Fantasy 15?
No, 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3, I think probably been in development for 7 whole years.
Wow.
Because at one point they ended up changing directors, and I think they had to scrap whatever he made or take whatever he made and redo it because they switched the directors on Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. And Final Fantasy 15 got changed completely. So I think that was really was in development like 3-4 years.
Hey,
that's why they added. That's why all that DLC stuff that was from free they added after the game was made. That was what was supposed to be in the original game.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15, they got some crazy stories on how their development went.
And it's happening now again with Final Fantasy 7. Because they changed developers.
Well, anything else on Sony's thing that you guys liked or want to discuss?
I think that's pretty much it for me.
Let's get to Nintendo.
Let's get to the garbage.
Yeah. Overcooked 2 was announced. I think that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Which one was
what?
Overcooked 2.
Overcooked too.
That mug looked funny and fun. I was just
top game of E3. Oh my goodness.
no. To me personally, the top game to me was Damon Ex Machina. The robot game. It's from the directors of Armored Core and from
so
Fire
it is
Emblem
from
Fates
Armored
and
Core.
Awakens.
So it is from
No.
Armored Core.
The two of the creators are from the Armored Core series.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Because they all, I guess they have a new studio called First Class Studios. Because Marvelous is publishing it. But it has just like that No More Heroes look to it. But the people who like made the Armored Core series or worked on them, they kind of did the designs for the mech, and this just looks fantastic. Like I was just like, wow, this looks so good, so fun to play. Like it became like my must-have of E3 out of everything.
Yeah, it looks pretty fun. It kind of had like a Zone of the Enders kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
So that was a good way to start
To start
the show, but I mean then it kind of went, that Fire Emblem game. Now that was fire.
What did you think of the soundtrack? I thought the soundtrack was awesome.
I didn't really focus on it too much. I honestly couldn't tell you.
That music was so good. Yeah. Fire Emblem Three Houses look like it's gonna be a big hit next year for it. I mean, they already showed Pokemon, so that's not a big thing. Super Mario Party I think is gonna cause a lot of fights. I think it changed a lot of people's perspective because adults were playing it instead of kids. So it's gonna be interesting to see drunk people doing that on Twitch, playing that game.
Playing what?
Super Mario Party.
Oh, okay.
Now there are gonna be some adults playing this game and doing stupid stuff. It's gonna sell the kids, but some adults are gonna be playing this game, and this is gonna be some stupid stuff of them playing.
Yeah. What else did they announce that was good?
Shonen Jump.
No, that was Xbox.
That was Xbox? Okay.
Yeah. They showed Dragon Ball Fighters is coming to Switch.
That's what it was. Dragon Ball Fighters.
But that one was like in a reel, like those little real things. It was in there. I'm assuming that they probably had finished the development on Dragon Ball Fighters for the other systems and then started working on the Switch one. Because that last one everybody said was really good. So they seen Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, I think it was.
I didn't like Xenoverse games. I don't like them that much, but people like them a lot.
Yeah, they did. The sales did fairly well on Switch. So I think they decided to bring it there. And everything else like Project Octopath Traveler, that's coming out soon. I haven't got the demo yet, but a lot of people are excited to get that. I think with Nintendo's conference, they were trying to focus on stuff for the rest of this year. And there's like only 2 games at this moment. Well, 4 games at this moment actually 5. That's coming out in 2019 or planned for next year.
Well, I think their whole big thing was Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
That's what it was banking on.
Yeah.
And that was garbage. That was hot garbage.
I don't think it was garbage. I think it was Smash fans loved it. The fact that they have all the characters from all the Smash
that's
games.
cool.
Yeah.
But that's cool. It's like you have, all the characters from the whole series in the game, but what did that whole direct provide for anybody who wasn't a Smash fan?
To actually show them that what the Smash is going to be, because when they announced it, people were wondering, is this a port? Is it part 5? Like people wanted to get a answer on what it's going to be. To me,
this is E3 though. You don't come to E3 and show off one game that people already knew was coming. Like they should have saved that for a special Smash Direct.
Smash is such a big title to the community of Nintendo fans, from fighter fans, and they felt like this is going to be such a big hit that it's going to grab people's attention, and that's what all people are going to be talking about. Because you could call it garbage, but then when you see it at EVO, and when you see people continue talk about it, when you see people grabbing and watch even a trailer of the Smash Brother games, people are still talking about it. So now people are thinking about who they're going to main, who they're going to learn. Like, a lot of people was just like, oh, Daisy is in the game, so I'm going to main Daisy and teach y'all, how to really fight. And people want Waluigi and stuff like that. Like, people are consistently talking about it. It don't have to be big to you, but there is a big community of people who are happy for this game and ready to relearn it. So when it comes time, I mean, when it comes time,
variety though, they didn't bring enough variety for the non-Smash fan.
I think they didn't have to, because if they was going to go into, listen to me, if they were going to go into a new Smash, I think they would have did more trailers of character reveals, and they're trying to plan all this stuff out for this year, or with these trailers and stuff. They didn't really have to go big, because they know that if they were going to go big, they were going to bring in some good trailers that was going to keep people talking and stuff. There was going to be more reactions.
They surely did need to go big. They went the opposite of big, that their stock actually dropped after that show.
That's completely fine, and their stock went up when they announced Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
I don't
think
they didn't go big. I think their big is showing Smash Bros. That's what the ideal of big is.
They did nothing to appeal to a wider audience.
I agree with that.
I don't think they really had to appeal to a wider audience, because they know that let me tell you, Smash is going to do numbers in December. People are going to get it for Christmas. It's going to sell systems. People are going to get ready to get that game so they can get ready for EVO. Smash is going to do numbers. And Nintendo focused, and that's the thing about E3 for Nintendo. They already told everybody that we're trying to, not only are we focusing on Smash, we're trying to focus on stuff that's coming out in 2018. You cannot deny everything that was 90% that was shown at this year's E3 is coming next year. What is going? Okay. Nintendo has something planned for the rest of the year that people are going to look at for their holiday, so they know they're going to make money. After
End of the year. You saying it like it's coming like next month?
No, I said that Smash is going to do numbers in December, because now Smash don't have to compete. Smash don't have to compete for Red Dead. It don't have to compete with Call of Duty. It don't have to compete with Battlefield, Destiny 2, Forsaken. It don't have to compete with none of that stuff that came early. Only game that Smash had to compete with is not Just Dance. It's Just Cause 4.
Okay,
and people are. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. Look, this is what I'm saying. This is my issue here. Everyone else provided a well-rounded amount of games. It's like a wide selection of games. But the point is, regardless, right? We already know that a whole bunch of games.
But
hold on. We already know that a whole bunch of games are coming to PlayStation. A whole bunch of games are coming to Xbox, right?
This year.
We know that there's a whole bunch of multiplats that are lined up for both of those platforms. Microsoft brought lots of games, games for every audience.
Right.
Smash is cool. That's great. But the point is I'm just judging these shows based on the selection and just the quality of the showing overall.
And that's fine. But even with that, even having all of that, everybody can't play that until next year, and all of that may change. At least you know what's coming up, so budget wise, you can get ready for the games that you could buy. And
you know what they could have done? They could have showed that on a was like mid-year direct or something. They didn't have to show
that's why they called it a Nintendo Direct.
It's an E3 Direct. It's supposed to be.
They said Nintendo Direct E3 2018. It's a Nintendo Direct. They already said that.
An E3 Direct. It's supposed to be a conference replacement.
We're spinning our wheels right here.
All right, but my point is,
I'll say this: Nintendo didn't put out anything to convince me to go get a Switch. The only reason, let me finish.
I was about to say that, and that's fine.
No. But I'm not saying anything against it. The only reason why I'm truly interested in getting one is because I have a 5-year-old who wants to play Mario Kart. That's the only reason. The Nintendo doesn't have market to me in the games I want to play. It's not for me.
And I think a lot of people are, and I understand where you come from, Derek, because a lot of people feel that way. I think with Nintendo, with the Switch, you find more original and new games in the indies because there's been more stories that indie developers been making money and making profit off of the Switch, where with big titles and big games and stuff, they do sell well. Like God of War sold very well, and Forza, not Forza. What else sold well this year? That was for Sony. Did something else sell well?
Sony this year?
Gran Turismo?
Was it just God of War that sold well?
Detroit. Yeah.
Detroit sold it sold 1 million, which is weird because everybody expected Detroit Become Human not to sell because of the scandal stuff.
Detroit and Ni no Kuni sold well too.
And Ni no Kuni sold well. Okay, so that those games appeal to those people, and they finally came out. I think a lot of people miss the fact that when it comes to Switch and there's a lot of indie games, a lot of people are buying a lot of those smaller games for them to be on the go, for them to just have something to play. They can still play those big games on the other systems. Problem is that with like Sony, I think the two biggest releases is God of War and Spider-Man, where compared to Switch, a lot of people are talking about dead cells and just shapes and beats, and they want to play Dark Souls on Switch. I don't know how the Dark Souls sales went. Does anyone know how they went? Have they talked about it yet?
No idea.
So, and I think that when you see more success stories from indies because of Switch, I think that make a lot of people be like, you know what, I'm gonna pick one up, or I'm gonna try to play something that's different, because we already know that when they do all these other games on the other systems, they're gonna do fine. Call of Duty though might be in trouble because of that whole situation. That's crazy.
I take it back though. I am interested in Overcooked 2. I don't know why. It looks kind of fun. It looks different. And so that's the one I am interested in.
And Derek, I think when people find out like you gotta Switch, and if you just even ask people what games I should look into, I think you probably get a lot of statements from people who own a Switch. And some of those games might be on PS4 and Xbox One and PC, but they were just like, I think if a game hooks you and you want to play it on the go, Switch might be the best option for that. Yeah. And I think you'll get it a lot of good opinions about what's to come and stuff.
My son has a Switch. I played a little bit of what's the game? Breath of the Wild. I played his game. I played that for a little bit, but I have a problem with playing games on that small screen. It's just not for me. I've had the 3DS games, the consoles, and it wasn't for me. If the screen is too small, I have to play on a big screen. I'm an older guy, and the vision isn't like it was 30 years ago.
I think if you're already playing games on the big screen, I think you can still play the Switch on the big screen. I don't know if you have a Pro controller or anything like that. But it's just for the small indie games, just if you get hooked and you feel like you want to play something on the go, it's kind of fitting for that purpose. But I think with Nintendo, I think with Nintendo and their E3 conference, they were just trying to show stuff that's coming this year and not really focus on next year.
Okay.
Because I like February is already packed for 360 for Xbox and PS4. Nintendo doesn't need that. Nintendo gonna get the holiday money and be like, okay, y'all go ahead and have y'all money now.
So overall, where would you rank all the big three? Like if you could put them in order, best to worst.
Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo.
Are you doing all 7?
No, 3. We don't have all night.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. I would say Sony and Microsoft were kind of neck and neck for me. So yeah, and then Nintendo, because the thing I could see Nintendo doing was the Smash Brothers, but you guys skipped over the thing. What was that? Skyrim on Alexa? Yeah, I ain't mentioned that at all.
That mess was funny. That was like the best thing. And
it's real. You can actually play it like that.
Yeah.
You said what? Skyrim on what?
Alexa.
On the Echo.
Amazon. Yeah.
Echo.
And you're saying that's legit and it wasn't just a skit.
Legit.
No.
That's real. That's not a joke.
It's real.
What?
Yep.
All right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
For me, it's Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony. And it's not, to me, it's not presentation, it's going by games for me.
All right. Mine I think is I know it's Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. I think Microsoft brought the most games. The presentation was done so well. It was well paced. They brought enough games. They brought over new games that aren't usually on the Xbox platform. They talked about the future. So it was like the present and the future was covered. They actually brought up the topic of new hardware coming. They talked about their streaming service that they're building. It was just like they covered so many areas, you know what I mean? And so I got to give them major credit for that. So I definitely give them the first. Which
I believe that they needed to do to win a lot of people over. And if people feel like Microsoft won E3, I'm fine with that. I agree with you. They had some great announcements, show some great games. Them acquiring Ninja Theory is a big thing that's not getting talked about enough.
I wasn't so happy about that because that means no more Heavenly Sword. So, you know.
See, that one is weird because I'm trying to figure out I think Heavenly Sword is owned by Sony. It's not Ninja Theory's game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So, unless they're going to get somebody else. Yeah, so unless they're going to get somebody else, which is
right,
how likely that is. I mean, a possibility, but yeah, it's probably just going to get shelved.
All right, Derek, what's your choice?
Oh, I said that. I said Sony and Microsoft were kind of neck and neck, and then Nintendo. Then,
so that's your... Okay, that makes sense. Are there any final thoughts? We've been going for damn near 3 hours.
For me, I would say it wasn't an awesome E3, but they announced enough games to my pocket is going to take a hit in the next year from the games that I'm interested in getting. So from that perspective, it was pretty decent. So yeah, that was it. I mean, the one game that I'm most interested in right now is playing is Spider-Man. That would be my one main game that I will buy this year. Oh, and Red Dead 2.
Which wasn't mentioned in the show at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Rockstar doesn't do E3. That's why.
But it wasn't.
They don't need to. GTA 5 is still killing it.
Right, I think GTA 4 was the last one when Microsoft did that. When Peter Molyneux did that little reveal of that tattoo on his arm. That was the last time Rockstar was there.
To close it off, what was the What was the worst thing, the most disappointing thing you saw at E3?
That Command and Conquer by EA.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I forgot about that.
yeah, that was pretty garbage. I think my biggest disappointment definitely. It wasn't announced during the show, but I mean like just the announcement to come from E3 overall was finally getting to see gameplay from Overkill's The Walking Dead game. It looked terrible. It was
They showed it?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
You can actually go look it up on YouTube.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that bad.
It looked so
arcade.
It was borderline like free, like a free to play game, like you might play on like Android or something. It was like a really downgraded version of what's that game that's getting a sequel, the zombie game. And
Dying Light.
Yeah, it was like a really mediocre Dying Light, but kind of like with a Left 4 Dead formula. It looked really bad. The graphics looked terrible. The movements were jittery. That's why they didn't show any gameplay. That's why they haven't been showing. They've been showing us these really pretty cinematics, and then the game looks terrible.
I have to look at it. I seen a little bit of, I guess, GameSpot had some, but I need to look at it more detail.
Yeah.
Oh, and shout out to the PC Gamer Conference. That one was really good this year. Wasn't too long or anything. It was really good.
I forgot that sucker even happened.
Yeah.
All right. Any last words before we close it off?
E3 is June 11th to the 13th next year.
You guys going?
No.
They said they had 66,000 attendees this year.
If I go, I only want to go to the conferences. I can't do the floor. It's way too many people. I got OCD, man. I got this thing about germs and people just not bathing and being funky, and then you're in a building like that. I can't do it.
I think you gotta find out who. I think you gotta find out who's allowing you to go.
It's an open event now.
Yeah, you can buy tickets.
You can buy tickets now.
Yeah, but it's mostly those are for the 3 days that it's open. Normally the conferences is for press only.
No,
I mean
they have open conferences.
Mm-hmm.
EA Play is open.
EA Play, yeah, that's because that's separate from E3. But if you're trying to go like to Microsoft or Sony's, I think theirs is only for press. But EA's was community, but Bethesda may have been community also.
You can go to the Microsoft conference. I don't think you have to be in the press. I don't think you need that credential.
No,
I think you can do podcasts and go into those conferences.
I think Microsoft does an event for fans, but I don't think that you can actually. I'm not sure though. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you would have to kind of look it up.
Because who's it? The guy from the Megadads podcast was there, and they're not press. They do a podcast.
How big is their following though?
But that I don't know.
Yeah,
but I think you have to have like a certain number, like 7,000 or 8,000 followers or something, or maybe 10,000, and then you get that credential.
Dang, we need to get pump out some more podcasts. Get that following up.
As much as I love E3, if I had to actually go to a conference, it would probably be more at PAX than E3 because Nintendo don't really do a conference, and I would just want to be in their booth all day long. But I would actually go to Microsoft's conference if I could.
I'm trying to go to PSX.
What is that?
I'm gonna tell you, if you do go, please make sure they don't have that last year's format. That did not work at all.
All right, let's close this off before Delvin knocks up. All right. Dang. Everybody, shout out your social media pages so everyone knows where to find you. the guests mostly. I mean, if you're a returning listener, I'm pretty sure you know where you can find me and Delvin.
All right. This is Derek on Twitter at dspin67 and host of the Nerdish 67 podcast, which I haven't released yet. So that's me. That's where you can find me.
You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code, and you can check out my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and other podcast apps. Also, I do some shows for my other network, Nerds Gone Rogue, and you can check us at ngrradio.com. We have a lot of shows and content that we cover for E3, so you guys should really check it out.
All right.
All right. So everyone, thank you for listening to the podcast. And hey, we'll talk to you next time.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.